Hey guys, before we get into today's activity, I wanted to take the time to really emphasize the importance of writing. Writing will be with you for the rest of your life. You'll be required to write for multiple different reasons throughout the rest of your life. If you're applying to college, you'll have to write several essays about yourself or about about general life experiences. When you apply to a job, you'll have to be able on the job application to describe to the employer your strengths that would make you a good candidate for the job. There will be so many things throughout your life that will require that you have good writing abilities. So during this class, we will be focusing on expanding your abilities as writers. And to do that, I will be teaching you all the different reasons for why people write about a specific topic. Now, to start off today's activity, I'm going to show you this. So right here I have a gummy worm, all right? Imagine if I walked up to your desk with a paper plate and this gummy worm was on it, and I told you, hey, I want you to write about this gummy worm. Well, what would you write about? You'd probably sit there for a bit like, oh my God, like what on earth could I write about a gummy worm? Well, it turns out there are a lot of different reasons for writing about gummy worms. You could write about an experience that you had with gummy worms. You could write about a reason why you used to love gummy worms, but then you had a certain experience which made you hate gummy worms. Or vice versa, maybe you used to hate gummy worms, and you can write about a certain experience that you had that made you start loving them. Another way to write about gummy worms is you could compare different brands of gummy worms. This is Black Forest brand gummy worms. There's multiple different brands of gummy worms. In your opinion, one may be better than the others. So you could write a paragraph or even, probably multiple paragraphs comparing the different brands of gummy worms and then coming to a conclusion of what brand is the best. You could pose the question of what would happen if I ate nothing but gummy worms for 3 weeks. You'd have to do some internet research to see what sort of health effects that would cause, but you could write about that. If we're still talking about health, you could write about how gummy worms affect someone who has diabetes, how eating too many gummy worms is bad for someone who has diabetes. So as you can see, you can take this sort of one object and write about it with multiple different purposes in mind, all right? And so for today's activity, I am going to have you think about a gummy worm, and I'm going to present multiple topics, about maybe 5 or 6 topics that you can choose from to actually write about a gummy worm. And I want you to pick the topic today. So step 1, pick your topic from the list that I'll show you in the post right after this. There will be a list posted right after this video, and there will be a list of topics to write about that cover gummy worms. So you'll pick one of those topics, and then you will do some research on that topic, or you'll write some notes on that topic. So if one of the topics is a piece on where you express how you ended up liking gummy worms or how you ended up hating gummy worms, and you reflect on the experience that caused you to feel this way. So for that, you won't really have to do much research. You just will write down notes from your mind, from whatever's on your mind. Here's my cat, by the way. This is Indy, if you haven't met her yet. So that's what you'll do for that. For the other topics, you will have to do some research. One of the other topics I posted was why you shouldn't eat gummy worms if you're diabetic. So you'll have to, if you choose that topic, you'll have to do some research on how gummy worms affect someone who has diabetes. So what I want you to do is, let me reiterate what I want you to do. I want you to pick one topic that you will eventually write about, and then I want you to do research on that topic. And that's all you're doing today. You're picking a topic, and then you're doing research on that topic, and you're typing in your notes in regard to that research, or you're typing your notes in regard to your thoughts on that topic. So that's all you have to do today. The assignment is posted right under this video, so go ahead and click on that. It sort of explains further of what I'm looking for. And if you have any questions, contact me on Google Hangouts.